Hi, I'm Emma. Take a look at this. Coming up after the break, we'll be meeting with the villagers of the Glamoch Valley in Bosnia-Herzegovina and witnessing firsthand their post-war struggle and how they're trying to get their lives back to some semblance of normality. I've worked on all the main terrestrial channels in production, and I've just produced a short film for Carlton Television. Excuse me, where's the worst place you've ever made love?
In the back seat of a car.
What sort of car was it?
A Mini.
A Mini?
Yeah.
And where's the best place?
Don't know, do you want to find out?
In a skip.
In a skip. And where's the best place?
Oh, definitely on the beach in Hawaii.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm interested in the here and now. I'm interested in why people are interested in angels now, why there's so much angel memorabilia around, why people are talking about angels, why these angel workshops are happening, and why people are able to talk about their experiences today, whereas they couldn't 50 years ago. When I first started doing this research, I targeted just local churches, Christian magazines, and I didn't really expect much to come from it. And within a couple of months, we got about 90 letters from people believing they'd had angel experiences. And from those 90, there were people from different faiths, Islam, Sikh, Hindu, as well as atheists and agnostics who believed they'd seen angels. And from there, the broadsheets picked up on it, and my research went national. I got national publicity from it. And now I've got about 600 testimonies from people who believe they've had these experiences, and they're from all different kinds of backgrounds. They're not all Christian. In fact, only a small proportion are. I'm doing this work from an academic viewpoint. What I believe doesn't necessarily have to come into it. What they're seeing, I'm not sure. You know, I'm looking at the psychological viewpoint. I'm looking at all angles.
And the person tells me, take care, take care. And I felt the warmth on my hand, and he picked me up. And I was asking myself, is this real? And when I looked up at him, he was tall, almost 7.5.
Well, she's put all her findings in a new book, and we're going to be having a phone-in later about your angel sightings, and the numbers on the screen. But first of all, Emma, welcome.
Thank you. Hiya.
Did this happen by accident, or how did it? Because you got involved and it's just kind of led to one thing and another.
Yeah, it spirals completely out of control, to be honest. It started off, to be honest, a bit tongue-in-cheek. It was my final year dissertation for my degree, and it's led on to a master's, now the PhD, the book, TV programmes, magazine articles.
It's become like its own kind of monster.
Yeah.
Do you believe in angels?
I can't say no, because I wouldn't have carried it on so long. I think there's possibly something there, but I'm not.
Were you surprised when you started to interview people?
Completely.
The stories that came out?
Yeah, when we started the research, I expected maybe 5 or 10 people to write in saying they'd seen them. And there were 60 straight away in the first post bag, and it was like, whoa, something's going on here.
And are they all the same? I mean, I think I would have thought at the beginning there'd probably be kind of hippie types who are into
exactly,
kind of...
crystals, New Age.
Yeah,
No, not at all.
They're
not
all
at all. Atheists, agnostics, Christians, Jewish, Buddhist, Islamics, everything.
I read one report in your book where it said a GP said that when a body is in pain or shock, that endorphins are released, and so therefore it's a kind of a hallucination.
Sure.
Now,
which is fine, and probably 80% of people who've written to me, they could be, one theory could be that that is it. But that's 80%, there's still 20% which we can't explain, and it is only a theory, it's not necessarily the correct answer. And many of the experiences have been, I know people have been crossing over the road, and they've been about to step out, and they felt a hand on the shoulder pull them back, or somebody's grabbed their collar and pulled them back, or they've come up against this like invisible wall.
But there's nothing
around them, and at that moment a sports car or car sped past and they would have been hit by it. IJ, tell me, who are your main influences?
I've been influenced by a range of artists out there, like Madonna, Tracy Chapman, and I like good music, and you know, and there's a lot of good artists out there who make good music, and that's where I get my influence from.
Well, let's hope that the album is going to be as big a success as the single was.
Thank you.
Best of luck with it all. What's happening next?
We're just going to promote the single, promote the album, and if it's a success, hopefully just ride on that wave.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
A new survey shows that more and more women are falling in love with speed and trading in their sensible motors for wheels with style and power. Peter Lane's been finding out more about the so-called driving divas.
Emma Heathcote-James likes her cars sleek and sporty. She's one of a rapidly growing number of women turning their backs on the traditional runaround for something racier.
It was a choice between a new bathroom or a new car, and I thought, well, I'm going to spend a lot more time in the car than the bathroom. So I got this, and it's fantastic. I live in the countryside, and there's nothing better than putting the hood back on a sunny day and putting the Beach Boys on full blast.
Yeah, this is a Lotus Elise Sport 190.
Today, Emma's window shopping, not for clothes, but cars. It's this prestige vehicle market that's going through a transformation.
So, Vicky's a believer and David's a believer. You may think they're both one-off cases, but actually hundreds and hundreds of people have got angel stories to tell. And luckily enough for me, they've all told them to the same person. Emma Heathcote has spent the last 5 years researching angelic experiences, cataloguing over 800 cases along the way.
Did you find that there's a common theme running through them that join up these letters? Did people see the same sort of angels?
Yeah, when I started, I kind of imagined an angel to be, you know, like what you put on top of the Christmas tree with a halo and wings and a long sort of shiny gown. But after about the first 3 or 4 weeks, I started categorising them all together, and there's probably 14 categories, and there were some people who saw like a lady in white with no wings. Other people had this human figure who kind of turned up, did an act and disappeared. Other people, which was the interesting one, like David's story, had an experience where they saw a deceased relative, but they now attribute that to be their guardian angel. So there's about 14 categories in total. It was amazing.
Findings have been published in a revealing book called Seeing Angels.
It's interesting that you say talk about, because I mean angels have been they've been around pre-Christianity. They appear in all of the main faiths. The fact they're spoken about more, I think it's to do with the media, that we've got the internet, we've got a lot more communication. People from all across the different continents and countries can talk to each other, and I don't think it's that they're happening more. I think it's just that people are talking about it more. Visions of deceased loved ones being seen again, long after their physical bodies have been buried or cremated, are the oldest and most common type of paranormal phenomena. My name is Emma Heathcote-James. I'm a writer, and for the last 7 years I've dedicated my time researching other people's spiritual or paranormal experiences. Now, I hesitate when I say paranormal because I know the connotations that the whole topic has got. A lot see it wishy-washy, and others don't think it actually deserves the research that it gets.